So now we're getting into the legal things. The lawsuits that have been brought up for Vail and Altera surrounding all the resorts closing early. Number one, while Vail did shut stuff down early, the ultimate decision that closed everything more or less permanently was the state level. It wasn't their decision. They shut down, and then it was, 3 or 4 days later, Polis, or maybe it was 2 days later or something like that, Polis said, all resorts are shut down. That was a state decision. So realistically, I don't even see how this could work as a lawsuit. Maybe in some of the other areas, but in Colorado specifically, I don't see that happening. Nobody's going to win because it wasn't their decision. Well, they could easily just be like, well, we were going to open back up.
Well, see, this is the thing. If you had pass insurance, evidently quarantine is covered under there. But the other thing is, I think people are trying to go with the natural disaster thing, like the destination resorts closed indefinitely due to a natural disaster.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to get their money. My big thing was, I did the numbers, and I mean, you're talking Vail Resorts was open 155 days if you go by Keystone standards, because I was the first to open. So you had 155 days. I get where people are miffed. Here's my thing. They all have the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go through the data and go, oh, this person didn't use their pass. Carry it forward, carry it forward, carry it forward, carry it forward, carry it forward. Oh, you had a 4-pack. Oh, carry it forward, carry it forward.
Right.
Oh, you used it 2 days and then you didn't use it again? Sorry, bud. We're not giving you a discount. Like the one guy, I was reading a quote that he said, and he was like, he's suing, I believe he's the one that's suing Altera, so Icon Pass, and he was like, I went to Crystal Mountain 5 days, and I planned on getting 5 more days in the spring. Are you fucking kidding me? You're launching a lawsuit over 5 fucking days? You used, it's so stupid. Like, yeah, let's go sue the resort. Okay, sue the resort. There you go. Okay, you sue the resort. Fucking, now our pass prices go up again. Or, they're too tied up with other things to worry about trying to get open. So maybe we don't open later. It's just such a convoluted, it's such a fucking place of privilege to sue.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember a year that I blew my knee out and only got 65 days. Was I pissed? Yeah. Was I going to sue someone over it? No.
Right.
Like, it's the same thing. I get it. I mean, there are definitely people that have that legitimate concern. They bought a season pass knowing that they weren't going to use it till March 17th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But at the same time, there's no actual guarantee on the length of the season.
Right.
It's like they say when they're going to try, but you remember that Christmas where it was 60 degrees?
Yeah.
I do, because I dislocated my elbow at Breck.
Mm-hmm.
That season was atrocious. They were making snow like March 20th.
Yeah.
Just so that they could try to connect sections of the base area.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't think nothing should be done. And the other thing is I know you should have, most of my experience here, just because I've got the Vail Pass and most people I know do, you should have got an email that said, we haven't forgotten about you, was more or less the terminology that they used. So that's basically them saying that they're going to do something. They're going to do something for you.
Yeah.
Either whether that's if you bought a season pass for the 1920 season, you're going to get a discount on the 2021 season, or you're going to have something carried over, or something. Something is going to be done as long as they think they're going to be opening for the 2021 season. So the lawsuit to me is excessive. I think it's I think it's I don't know. It's some dude just trying to throw his name out there, and some lawyer picked it up to try and get his name out there. I think that's what really is going on. I don't think there should be a lawsuit whatsoever. Do I think the resorts and mostly the mega corporations should be doing something to appease the people that everything was screwed up? We had people the day before that we shut down at the shop, I had people in there being like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this. I bought all my tickets ahead of time, and now I'm not going to be able to use them at all. Those people should be taken care of to a degree, one way or another. And I like that idea. If you have bought a 4-pack, you used 1 day, then your 3 days carry over to next year. That makes sense. That's easy. It doesn't really cost the resorts any money to do that. It does, but not outright. Yeah. So, yeah, the lawsuit's just straight up unnecessary.
No, it's completely unnecessary. And like I said, I went on a rant and I was like, yo, there's way better places to put your resources right now. And you sitting around rattling your sabers at people and being all pissed off isn't doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is like Icon for next year, if you buy now, they've already discounted it $200, which roughly, because they did raise the price, which we all knew a pass increase was coming. So yeah, I think you saved like $79, $80. You're still saving $79, $80, whatever it is. Maybe 100 max. But they're offering adventure assurance so that you can, for no fee, they'll defer your pass to the winter of 21-22. So for those of you that fear commitment, you can do it. And all you have to do is contact them between September 10th and December 10th to defer your pass. So if
by then, we'll know.
Yeah. So it's a little bit more of a quality assurance. And I heard that they actually extended the discount that they're giving on the pass till June now, is what someone said. Because it was May 27th, and I think they're saying to the end of June. I haven't seen an email yet, but it might show up. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. So it's there. These lawsuits are so fucking stupid. It's so misguided. And all you're going to do is get the people that are fucking entitled. And someone pointed it out best. He's like, the people that are suing are the people that show up at 10:30 in the morning on a powder day. They're in the bar by 11.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking, they make 3 or 4, 5 laps more max. Then they're hitting happy hour. Then it's to the après, and that's it. Versus the people that are like, that it's really, this would actually really affect the people that are out there every day and doing it. I mean, you had 150 days, let's say, roughly. Like, let's say if we went with A Basin Open, that was 156 days that they were, realistically 155.2.
Yeah.
Because they were only open 2 hours that opening day. But I remember at the opening day, the amount of people that were there with Icon passes using their days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they came out, like, there was a lot of people from out of state that flew in for that opening or drove and stuff. But it's just so stupid. These two guys are just fucking assholes. And they're older guys. It's like, the one guy's like a 65 retiree, I guess. I'm like, dude, you have nothing better to do with your fucking time.
Yeah.
Okay, let's sue the resort. Let's say they refund everyone's season passes. Everyone's. So then there's no money set up for the preseason to fucking make snow. So now they open later. So let's say,
not only are they going to be getting lower season pass sales this year just because they're going to, but now they've not only lost some season pass sales, but now they're having to refund everybody's season pass sales. Like, that's not the way to handle this. That's not healthy for the resorts. Like, that's doing more damage than good. Like, yeah, you're going to get your whatever percentage of your season pass. Like, that's the other thing is if they settle on this, then, they're going to settle on, okay, well, your season pass costs, let's just say it's $1,000 for the sake of easy math. If your season pass costs $1,000 and you missed out on 10% of your season, here's your $100. Seriously? That's what you're going to be suing over? Because that's going to be the easiest way for them to really figure out how to compensate people for it, is to refund for the percentage of the season that was missed. And it wasn't that much. And they could easily just go by the resort that was going to close the soonest. So you're looking at Tahoe or Keystone probably. And at that point,
probably one of the Midwest resorts.
Or one of the Midwest. Yeah, they could easily just say, well, our Midwest resort was going to close a week afterwards anyway. So boom, you get a week's worth of your pass back. Like, so the amount of return you're going to get out of this lawsuit is going to be much more harmful to the resorts than it is going to be a benefit to you.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but maybe you got to fucking suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, everybody's taking a hit out of this. Deal with it.
Deal with it. I mean,
you're going to get taken care of somehow. You're going to get something out of the situation. Like,
we're all doing our part.
I'd be pretty shocked if you don't, but this is not the way to get it.
Well, it's like that kid that fucking sent me a message because I put up the numbers on Instagram, and he's like, what do you care? You probably paid $0 for all your passes. You get free. And I was like, dude, I bought 3 fucking season passes. There was a year I bought 7 season passes for other people that work with us and stuff. I was planning, if everything had kept going the way it was this year, I was going to be buying like 9 season passes for people that were going to come in and work for us as contractors. Mm-hmm. And so I could diversify and do stuff like that. Like, I didn't get to use my Indy Pass. Okay, I ate that. I got 57 days on my fucking icon. I should have finished out the season probably closer to 80 on that. I got 30 days on my basin pass. That I've only had one season where I haven't clocked almost 100 days at a basin, and that was the year I blew my knee. Like, no. Am I still going to buy a basin pass next year? Fuck yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, fuck it. And this kind of ties into, like, I've had people ask, they're like, should we buy the mega pass or should we buy the local pass? And I go, I think everyone's, and I talked about this in the Angrysnowboarder show video that dropped, because this is Thursday, the 23rd. It dropped today. But I was like, you're going to have to decide, if travel's restricted and everything, do you buy your mega pass and then you have to drive and you have to figure out lodging and everything's going to be different? Or do you get that local resort and you go double the 7 days that you would have been anywhere on the mega resort, but you go there, but the conditions are less, it's a smaller mountain, and do it. You might have to suck that up and do it that way. That just might be how it is. And I think that's it. But here's the big thing. If you're really, really pissed about all this, don't buy a fucking pass from the mega resort. I'm not going to complain when there's less people in line. Yeah. I might complain when they can't operate the full mountain. I might complain when they can't do infrastructure upgrades. But
yeah, if you normally come to Colorado and you're that mad about the whole situation, instead of buying any of the major passes, buy just a pass to Loveland or A Basin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or you don't want to support a mega pass, but you still like copper, buy a straight copper pass.
Right.
That goes to Powder Corp. You can do that. That's maybe you change how you do it. It's the other thing. Like Purgatory put out that they're guaranteeing a 100-day season for their pass holders for next year, and if they do not hit 100 days of being open, they will carry the pass forward for the next season after that at no charge. Is what I was told. I was reading it and I was like, this is kind of vague, but yeah. So I saw that, but to carry forward 1.3 million passes, like you're going to be banking on hoping that they're spending money in the grocery stores or in the restaurants, the lodging, which are all going to take a hit, you know. And like I said, like we said in the last section of this podcast, we're still very uncertain. Yeah. I want to be optimistic about it, but I also have to be a realist. Like the shit hits the fucking fan. What do we do? Like
for all we know, best case scenario happens. We get to November. Like I still think, regardless, I think best case scenario is we still don't open until mid-November. But best case scenario, we open mid-November. Everything relatively gets back to normal. Everything takes the hit that we're all. Everybody's like, oh, well, that's probably our minimum. And that happens and we get back to normal and it takes a year or two maybe to recover and we're good.
I think they were saying 18 months is what they were realistically figuring. So it'd be the summer of 2021 near the end that we would come back. I mean, I know the number projections for Breck, they were saying 80% loss of revenue this summer and 50% loss in the winter.
Yeah.
If we can get the resort open.
Doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, is it still going to snow? Yeah, it's still going to snow. There's still going to be that out there. But I think the big thing for all of us sitting here is you shouldn't be misguiding your anger right now towards the resorts. Yeah, they're still trying to figure it out. If you actually look at it, they're still trying to figure it out. This is something that they were not even prepared for. I don't think anyone was prepared.
Nobody was prepared for this.
I mean, and if you really want to bitch about everything, I'm going to put it into perspective from our standpoint here. Kevin's completely out of work. If I look at number projections, I'm happy that we're up over last year for views, money coming in and everything. That's nice. I'm happy. But if I look at projected numbers and where we were supposed to be, I'm taking a 70% hit. I'm losing about $70K this year. $70K that was going to go towards hiring him full-time, that was going to go to hiring 5 part-timers, that was going to go to expanding what we were doing. Am I upset? I am fucking absolutely upset. But this is the reality of it. I could sit around and cry. I had a conversation with Evo, our #1 affiliate. They cut our commission. I'm losing a 4% commission on most sales after we hit their specified goals, which we have hit their goal. This will be the first month I don't think we hit their goal for for April, and there's still a potential that we might hit it. We're very close. I mean, 7 days can change everything. So, I'm taking that hit. Yes, it sucks. But at the same time, I also look at my friends that are fully on unemployment. You are on unemployment.
Yep.
It's, we're trying to figure out, I'm taking care of a bunch of people that are in way worse shape and trying to make sure this. Am I pissed? Yes. Do I want to be snowboarding? Yes. Do I think this is unfair? Yes. But that's not going to solve the problem. Now I'm trying to figure out, how do we creatively solve it? And those companies are trying to solve it in some way. I know, talking with friends that work in marketing for them and what they're trying to do, they've been told, we're not doing that yet. We are looking into everything. You know that they're talking to their lawyers. They are trying to figure out everything they can to get where they need to be.
This situation has never happened before. None of these brands, none of these companies, none of these corporations have ever had to figure out a situation like this before. So it's going to take time for them to come up with what solution is going to allow them to continue to operate, but is a solution that they think is going to be good enough to continue to draw business. Because that's the thing you got to remember, is they're not trying to screw over any of their patrons. They want to make money. They're a business. So if they're just like, well, this happened and it sucks and we lost money, so sorry, bummer. That makes them look bad. It doesn't help people. Like, that's not the climate of strong business right now. Right now, the climate for strong business is this whole solidarity concept. You have all these companies just across, all the other sectors of business out there, not tied to skiing and snowboarding, that are making all these crazy efforts. You have car companies doing deferred interest for literally your entire loan term. For 75 months, they're doing that. You have other dealerships that are basically doing the same thing. You have them pushing payments out 3 months. That's the climate of business right now. So these mega corporations are going to do something, but they've never had to try to figure anything out like this before. And it's not as simple as just being like, no interest on your payment. Like, there's a lot more complicated nonsense going on in all of this.
So they're also trying to figure out how they're going to be able to open.
Right. Like, that's the thing is,
especially if they lose summer operations.
Right. They need that revenue to get rolling in order to make the revenue throughout the rest of the season. So without having all those extra pass sales at the beginning of the season to get the season rolling, like, why do you think they offer discounts on your season pass if you buy it early? It's so that they have money in the bank to start moving.
Yeah.
They don't have that right now. So they've got to figure out what they can do to make you happy, because they want to, because they know that if they do, you will come back, but in a way that's going to work for them so they can continue to operate and get rolling.
Right. And I've had a lot of people tell me, well, look at the car insurance companies. They're giving us discounts because none of us are driving right now. And I was like, look at how much stuff that they actually insure and where they're getting their payments from. I mean, I pay my insurance in 6-month blocks, so they've been paid up front. I mean, they're doing that. Yeah, okay, I'm going to get... And my insurance company it's not even that I'm getting money back. They're just like, hey, we're going to roll a month or two over into your next 6 months. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Right.
I mean, I still paid that. It's so convoluted to me, the level of entitlement that people are having towards this, that they're like, well, I need to... Dude, we're all privileged that we can go snowboarding. That's a privilege. I know that's a privilege. I mean, fuck. I mean, let's say we go into absolute fucking worst case scenario. Society just completely collapses. Are you going to care that fucking you didn't get a refund on your goddamn fucking ski pass? No, you're not. You're going to be like trying to fight your neighbor with a garden hoe to try to steal potatoes from him. Like, let's just... Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, this is a fucking hiccup in the history of humankind.
Yeah.
We can get through this, or we can just fuck up and just not. And if you're really pissed about the company, vote with your dollars. I mean, when Vail banned me for life, I was just like, fuck it. I could still buy a pass with a fake name if I want to. I was like, fuck it. I'm done with all their products. And I have been done. And I'm just like, I don't give a shit. So... That's kind of how I feel about it. It's just, it's frustrating. And I love how people are like, the one argument was, well, their marketing says if there's snow on the slopes, they're open. And I was like, Okay, so middle of July when they've been closed for 8 weeks and we get a foot of snow, does that mean they're open?
Right.
Like, no. It's a bunch of shitty-ass lawyers that are going to be the only ones that win from this. They're going to be the ones that win. This guy's going to be like, I feel vindicated. I got a free pass. And I'm like, yeah, and you spent 20 grand to retain these lawyers, and then the lawyer fees fucking hit, and then your name's on a fucking list with the resort, and they're going to try to do whatever they can to get you not to renew. You specifically.
Yep.
Because
now you're a liability.
You're a liability. You're a hazard. I mean, on top of the fact, their retainers are probably going to have to go up for lawyers. They're, the insurance, everything that they carry, it's all going to get passed back on to the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
So is that worth it to you? Because it's not to me. It's like, hey, okay, fuck it. I got to eat this. I've had to eat it on a few things where I'm like, oh, this kind of sucks, but that's life.
Yeah.
So, fucking blows my goddamn mind. Anything else to add, sir?
That's about it. I think I said my piece.